All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Serious Angler podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bailey Eigenbrett, my co-host here, Mr. Andrew Full. And as always, for every preview show for the Bassmaster Elite Series, Mr. Adam Bartuzik and Mr. Adam Deakin was joining us. What's going on, boys? Well, I'm sure he's doing a lot better than Bart is right now.
Yeah. Deacon's life's a lot better than mine.
Love it. Straight shooting right off the bat. Just Bart.
Well, Bart, we won't ask you how you did today, but I'm curious on your first.
No, you can. You can.
Were you a practice hero?
I was a practice hero. You know, the opens are fun, they say. Traveling is fun, they say. Fishing tournaments is fun, they say. And then you run 40 minutes and you catch 2 fish and you're like, it's not fun. No, it was a good time. I had a good time today. I really did. Today was the first tournament. Like in Minnesota, we don't have bite windows. So fishing the TVA is so different because I sat in my spot till like 12:30. And the whole time I was like, I can legitimately catch 20 pounds any moment. And I felt that every moment until my boat left that spot. And at that moment, I was like, this is bad. It was like an overwhelming of like, yeah, we're going downhill fast. So, I had a bad day, but we're going to go catch like 21, 22 tomorrow, and we might catch 3 pounds, but we'll see.
Go out swinging, bud.
No, that's the way I am. You boys know me. If I go down, I'm going to go down swinging, and I'll get chirped forever about it. I don't care. So,
dude,
I'll take 220th and do terrible. And I'll be like, whatever. I went down swinging, and now I'm gonna go down swinging tomorrow. So,
it's your first open, dude. It's your first open you're ever in. No one's gonna give you crap for how you finish.
I'm gonna get crap from people. I've filmed enough stuff. It happens. I already know that. But I'm gonna bolt flip a 5.5 tomorrow, and I'm gonna look at the camera and be like, yeah, what's up? No, we'll go try to have some fun tomorrow, but I just hope my co-angler's ready for it because I caught 5.5 pounds today, and I just can't wait for the conversation of looking at him and be like, I'm gonna do the same thing. That's got to be a death sentence to a co-angler. Like, what are you doing today? The same thing that caught me 5.5 pounds.
He gets in the boat. What adjustments are you going to make today? I want you to have the GoPro. The GoPro needs to be aimed at the passenger seat because I want to see his face. We're like doing the same things yesterday, dude.
I don't know, man. I'm dialed.
What adjustments?
Yeah. What are you talking about? We're in Minnesota.
Why would I adjust?
They all eat.
God.
No, this place is cool though, man. Like it really is. It reminds me a lot of Minnetonka and the Mississippi River combined. And if I would have stopped on a spot that wasn't just muddier than anything you've ever seen in your life in the morning, I think it would have been better. Like it looked like chocolate pudding. Like it was so bad. I got there and I looked at my code and I was just like, maybe I'll throw a spinnerbait today. I haven't thrown a spinnerbait all week. And at that moment in my head, I was like, this is probably a bad idea, but we'll hang out for 6 hours.
For 6 hours.
Going down with the ship, Captain.
Yeah. Hey, he got his limit. He's in like the top 30, so he's doing good.
Yeah,
your boy isn't. I dumped like 3 or 4, and it was a train wreck of a day for me, and I saw it going downhill, and I was like, whatever, we'll go with it.
Part of the game, man.
Yeah. Well, Deacon, what's up with you, dude? I know obviously the folks listen to Andrew and I talk on and on, obviously every episode, but we haven't heard from you since our Lake Fork preview. So what's been what's been in the recents for you?
Yeah, man. Not all that much. I fished a derby, our ABA team series down on Pueblo Reservoir last weekend in Colorado here. Fished it solo. My team partner was gone. Finished one outside the money. Was dumb, and I lost one being dumb with a drop shot where I shouldn't have been throwing a drop shot. It was good, but more than anything, I'm getting ready for Dardanelle this next week. I leave Saturday, the last of the, oh my gosh, what are they? The Central Series of the Toyotas, the Plains Division rather. And I'm sitting 32nd in the points and got to be in the top 25 to make that Toyota Series championship. So looking to do that. It's my first year fishing the Toyotas on the boater side. So excited to try and make a swing at things. Haven't been to Dardanelle before, and I'm curious to see kind of what it like. Kind of looks like a muddy crap hole.
Yeah, no, you described it perfectly.
With a little bit of gravel and bush.
Bailey, Andy, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Okay.
You guys want to hear like a wild fish catch story? Because my co-angler Jake, who was with me today, weighed in a big smallie, and it definitely shouldn't have gotten in.
Is
And he's got a good
20
story
years
about
deep
it.
too?
Yeah, he's right here. Jake, you want to come tell your story quick? You guys got to hear this because you guys won't believe it. Like,
Okay.
so Jake's sitting, what are you, 13th right now?
Yeah, I'm sitting 13th.
You gonna teach Bart how to fish?
What's that?
You gonna teach Bart how to fish?
Yeah, I was trying to teach him this week, but he obviously hasn't learned.
He's the one who actually caught all the fish in my spot. So, like, I got there and I didn't catch them. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And then halfway through the day, I was like, Jake's not back here. That's why. No, all right. What happened to you today, dude?
Yeah, so last few minutes of our day, we pull up to this smallmouth spot, and I'm throwing a drop shot, and I get hung up on a rock, and I can't get it out. So I just pull on my rod, try breaking it. So I break it off, and I'm reeling it back, and all of a sudden it gets heavy, and set the hook, 3.5 pound smallie jumps out of the water, and I only had 2 fish at the time. So got in the boat, and I looked at my line, and the drop shot snapped off right at the hook, and there was no tag end left. So the Palomar knot leak was just like this close to just snapping off.
Sliding through.
Did you both flip it?
No, my pro grabbed it for me. So
Oh man, I was gonna say if you both
Edited
flipped
it,
it,
and I was
that would have been insane.
no.
Oh my god, I never heard of that happening before.
That's nuts.
But yeah,
Smallies.
tomorrow I've got a shot at winning the thing, so it's pretty cool.
Get it done. Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm
The
going to
boater
watch
catch
him because the guy he's fishing with was literally sitting right next to me all day.
Did he catch him?
It's going to be great. Yeah, he had like 15 and a half. We're not going
nice.
to talk about that, though.
Well, we're the next show. We're gonna have a Jake update to see how he did.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
sure
No,
folks are gonna be curious.
We'll give you an update. The party will be great. We got a great Airbnb. We're all ready for the party.
Fantastic.
Bart's been partying for quite some time.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, boys, let's talk about the obviously the big event that went down this past weekend. Big old Lake Fork, obviously third biggest bag of all time on the final day, which everyone knows about. Obviously, 42 pounds on a freaking topwater.
That was a while.
I know we briefly talked about this offline, but did anybody else besides myself get a chance to watch some of the live coverage?
I did on
little bit.
Thursday and Friday, and then just a little bit on Friday. But I didn't. I watched the recap after obviously all the stuff with Lee. But
Right.
I still haven't gotten to see anything because I literally left Minnesota at like 4 a.m. on Saturday, got down here and started practicing. I know it went down, but I haven't watched any of the actual Saturday, Sunday coverage.
I think I'll start us off here because talking about takeaways from Fork was Taku Ito's 33-pound bag on a spinning rod. That was
Well, you caught it on a spinning rod? I haven't seen that,
dude,
so I'm.
He was swimming a Senko. He was like, or not a Senko, but a float or a wacky rig, right? But with a heavy jig head, like swimming it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what they did.
Japanese
I think it was like I think it was
We
like
should keep that on the DL.
Everyone on live saw it.
that might work in Minnesota fairly well, so I don't want anyone to know about that.
Well, it's a good thing we definitely don't have any Minnesota listeners whatsoever.
No, everyone hates me, so we're good.
We definitely haven't had on half of Minnesota's bass fishing realm on this show. We've had like 40 people on from Minnesota on this show, so
yeah,
no listeners from Minnesota at all. But yeah, dude, it was kind of crazy because like you see him throwing the wacky jig head, and his reel's just still creeping it. And I was looking at it, I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, I wonder what the heck he's doing.
Was he throwing like a flick shake head then?
Yeah.
No, dude.
Yeah,
but it was a heavier, think of because I throw a flick shake a lot, but it's like a 16th ounce, right, or a 32nd ounce head.
Throwing like a quarter.
Yeah, like literally, like it looks heavy. It looks like he took a swim bait hook or swim bait ball head with a weed guard on it, and like looked like you were casting out a freaking 1/8 or a 1/4 ounce swim bait and just going like this.
Yeah.
I do that.
Cool. That doesn't work anywhere. Don't do it.
Are you gonna do that tomorrow?
No. Tell you exactly what I'm gonna do tomorrow because I'm not gonna catch them. I'm gonna throw a 5/8 ounce chatterbait all day. I'm gonna throw a 5/8 ounce lipless all day. That's literally it. That's all I'm gonna do.
You throwing the trap on fluoro or braid?
Fluoro.
Fluoro. Okay, I was just curious. Random tangent.
Try to get it buried as much as you can. That's when they eat it.
Fair enough.
They didn't today.
Well, obviously,
tough for that chocolate.
No, the chocolate didn't help. But no, the coolest thing about Livesey's bag, I think, was like, because he was on a shad spawn, right? Like that's what it like. I infamously say from Minnesota, like shad spawns don't exist. Like I think it's this myth that everyone from the South has told me for like 20 years. They're like, yeah, you need to look for the shad spawn. I'm like, that's not a thing, but whatever. But then I got to Pickwick and I pulled up to my first point. Like there was definitely a shad spawn going on. And I was like, oh, okay, this is real. So like seeing Livesey's bag like all day, I was like, that's ludicrous, man. Like it was so crazy. Yeah, it was nuts. Like I just, yeah, like me and Jake were in practice and like, I think we were driving up to our first spot and Jake was talking to me and he was like, dude, Livesey's already got like 17 pounds for 2. And I was like, what? And then all of a sudden we're like, he called up. You're like, what does that mean? It's like 37. You're like, okay. And then all of a sudden like Panger calls me and he's like, he called up again. Like, huh? 42 or 43. You're like
43.
Well, here's the crazy part. The crazy thing you mentioned,
remotely possible. Like you look at his bag and you're like, he's got to call out a 7-pounder.
The craziest part that he mentioned was that on his way in, on his last stop, that he dropped like an 8 or 9 pounder on a glide bait at the end of the day that would have called another 7.
Really?
Like, yeah, he said he had like 40 boats watching him too, so like they can attest to it. Like he dropped one at the end of the day that he said would have taken down Dean Rojas's record.
Oh my god!
Yeah, but it was cool. I got an opportunity to chat with him a little bit through work stuff, and he mentioned that literally he was following a gizzard chat spawn, not the with the thread fin spawn that a lot of guys were doing, but the gizzard chat spawn. And that's why he was throwing massive saltwater topwaters, which is sick.
That what Zaldane was doing too, because I've seen Zaldane's bait going like fucking viral. Sorry.
Yeah, He was throwing a glide the whole day. Just that
huge, like 8-incher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The rod he was throwing, like he had like a 4-foot butt end, pretty much, like a flagpole, essentially. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Like he was just throwing a flagpole, pretty much, like and just holding on for dear life. Like he could have stuck it in the net.
I need to watch this.
It was cool, like because they had a lot of airtime with him throwing that thing, and like when he was describing like what he does, he's just like when you feel a bite, he's like you're just gonna swing it like a baseball bat, and you're just gonna wrench him in. He's like you do not stop reeling, and he broke off a big one doing that because he was wrenching it in. And it got him around a log and broke off from the friction. He said it wasn't that the wood broke it off. He said it's the friction from him pulling and the fish pulling the other way. The friction of that wood is what broke his line, which is crazy. Like it's kind of a cool analysis of that because like you think like it wraps you around the wood that the wood broke you off, but no, it was the friction that broke it.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
On swim bait, like I've got a buddy here and I mess around with glide baits and we can do it pretty decently in like clear water, and we've got a couple like hidey holes, like not tournament lakes, that have like fish that'll lead a swim bait really well because we have trout lakes too, right? And like there's no messing around when you stick one on a swim bait. Like your job is to get it. You like put a 7-pounder on top of the water. You know what I mean? Like you're just. There's no being nice. Yeah.
I feel like you guys are in such different territory from like, well, Bailey and Andy kind of get it. So more of talking to Adam, but like when we're doing smallie swim baits, you got these little 3-inchers out there and you hit it on a spinning rod. You're like, all right, I'll hold on for 10 minutes.
I'll be here for a while.
And you're like, all right, when are you going to get tired? I'll just chase you around for a bit.
So, Bart, you might appreciate this one. I told Bailey about it, but on my guide trip over the weekend, I stuck one that was a 5.5, and I boat flipped it on a spinning rod.
Dude, yes. I love boat flipping big fish on a spinning rod.
It was so funny. 7-pound gamma.
So
dude, it's the best. Like
I had a Ned rig through rocks. It was destroyed. I'm like, I should have never done that.
I have witnessed Andrew boat flip a 4.5-pounder on 6-pound tests with a 610 medium light.
Dude, I must be just a freaking pussy when it comes to that stuff because I get so scared, dude. Like if I'm on 10-pound with like a tube, I'm just like, I don't know. I think I'm still gonna net him. Like it's like, you know. But then I watch like Gussie, dude. Like Gussie was ripping every single 3.5-pound, 4-pound smallie ever on 10-pound when he was doing his whole dragon deal. Like he was just like right in the boat, not even think about it.
You guys got to realize, like if you talk to Bailey, you know Waldo and Hayden. Hayden's been on the show, Waldo hasn't. But like, if you talk to any of them about me, I am very notorious in Minnesota for my spinning reels being very tight. Like, I don't have drag go out on my spinning reels.
Mine are winched all the way down.
So, like, when I fish Minnetonka or Grass Lakes, like, I'll set the hook on a 4 or 5-pounder, and, like, all of a sudden I'll hear it, zzz, zzz, and I'm like, ooh, it's a big one. And then, like,
that's exactly
it's pinned. Like, it shouldn't do that.
I use 3,000 tools.
I've just learned, like, and that's like Gussie, dude. Like, the guy in my boat on Pickwick today, we were talking about line size, and I was like, bro, line's way stronger than you think it is. Because just like those smallies, 10-pound or whatever, like, most of us use 6 or 7. Like, dude, that stuff doesn't break. Like, as long as it's more about are you hitting anything, and you need to know that. But if you're hitting them open water, game over. Just boat flip them. Like, you're fine. Get good. Get some good momentum and flip her in. You're good.
You just have to learn like that perfect point to do it. But I'm fighting, and I get up to the side of the boat, and I look at my client. I'm like, oh, it's like a 4. You go, do you want the net? I'm like, no, I just flip it. And I was like, ooh, that was a little bigger. And I put it on the scale. I was like, oh, 5.5, not bad. He's like, what?
Full guide service. Here we go. Boat flip everything on a spinning rod.
Kick the net out of the boat.
Yeah, you should totally tease some of your clients, Andrew, because you have like that. You have that Tackle Warehouse gift card for like Biggest Fish.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if you use the net, it doesn't count. You're not allowed to. They're like, well, this is the biggest one of the year, but we used the net, so it doesn't qualify for the gift card. Just
my first big one of the year, I didn't boat flip. It was in the river. It was a 6.3. And I thought it was a 7. It was like a 22.5-inch fish, but it was really skinny. And when I jumped, I was like, oh, my God, it's a 7. I'm going to grab this one. If I would have known it was a 6, I would have boat flipped it. Like, that's serious.
Shut up.
Me and Andy are just best friends.
I've accumulated the nickname Bear Paws and boat flip, and I boat flip everything. I don't lose fish. So
God, we should be tournament partners.
That's why Destin fishes with me.
Yeah.
But so getting back to Lake Fork, because this is a whole
rabbit hole.
We could talk about this forever. But getting back to Lake Fork, if you guys don't have any other takeaways from it, I think we should run through our fantasy fishing standings to get that update, and then we'll move on to Neely Henry.
Yeah,
put me in last.
You guys go through it first because I'm leading. So
I'm last.
Hey, people are catching you.
I don't know if that's actually happening. I think we're speaking things that aren't happening.
So current standings, okay. Last place is myself with 13 points. Third is Andrew with 12. Deakin in second with 10, and Bart is in the lead with 5.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm going in a big hole right now, so just give me the 4.
So I'll go first here. I had my first good day of the year with my pattern of trying to pick guys in 3% ownership and less has been horrible for me, but finally it's somewhat paid off with my first 1,000-point weekend with 1,000 points on the dot.
Oh man.
Yeah. I better get a round of applause for 1,000 points.
You did good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bart. I appreciate it.
So let's just put me in last.
But you did good.
Just put me down for last. I had 851 points, and I'm going to leave it there. Bam!
Oh man.
Yep. Not even want to talk about it.
851. Okay.
Oh yeah, last.
Deegan?
I had 1,161.
Ooh.
Damn. Just when I thought I did good for a weekend.
Deakin beat me.
You're keeping me. Thanks, Deakin. You're keeping me in the realm of Bailey here.
The problem is, guys, here's the issue. I can catch Bart if you guys start stepping up. But the problem is he always finishes in second or first. So he needs to finish in fourth.
Everywhere.
The problem is you guys need to start scoring. We need to spread here.
Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. You got to catch the legend. Let's go. No, I had 1,038.
Let's see.
Good week.
All right.
Seth came back and saved
But
it.
I was just I guess I don't know in the preview who all had him, but I felt like I was the only person who had Patrick Walters, and I felt like that was a pretty easy pick.
It was.
Is he in bucket A, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went with Fighter, man, and he finished 6th, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, no, and hey, I can't argue with that. Remember, I'm still running on this podcast from like way St. John's episodes ago saying, hey, Fighter took really good here. Watch an AOI run.
Uh-huh.
Where are we right now? I mean,
true.
This is very true.
Boys, like, remember all the podcasts. Like, we're running through a mill now, but we're literally at the point of like, okay, we have Neely Henry. We have one event left before it's like sign, seal, and deliver it. Because you can be like Gunnersville, but it's like, bro, he's taking top 10 at Gunnersville like every time he's been there. So
this is fair.
Maybe Neely Henry, but the guy's on fire, man. He's been good.
Yeah,
he's catching them. And he gets confident. It's done. Like, he's the most like you get confident and move on momentum guy in the world. And it is crazy the way he feeds off of it. Because he shouldn't, like, he's good on fork. Like, Sabine, like, he shouldn't have caught him there. Like, fork, like, can do all right. But, like, you know what I mean? It's like, where are we going? Like, this is all.
Let's go fish retreads at Sabine and survive and get a top 10.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Like, dude, it's all confidence. The guy is, he's just better than you. And that's what's really hard to accept.
I want to make a quick note here. So I picked in Group D, I picked Austin Felix, who is
Felix 2%, great.
2% owned and finished 10th, but started out in 6th. What was really interesting was watching him on live. And when he had 25 pounds, they had what do they call it, guys? They call it the additional, like, what is it called when they do like Skype in with the marshal for guys that aren't on live, but it's like the additional coverage.
Bonus coverage.
There
you go.
He mentioned because they are weighing all these fish and putting them back. He goes, well, they asked him for his game plan tomorrow because he's fishing spawners. Well, he goes, well, I'm going to come back and fish for the same spawner fish that I caught today because we're putting them back in. There's no way to prove that I haven't caught these fish.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, oh, I'm going to go run the same beds and go catch the same fish.
You guys want to
know the same bag.
You guys want, like, insider look. You want to know something about that?
So many of those guys are catching the same fish.
So, well, yeah, I mean that, but like Felix from like back home, like I've said it forever. Felix is one of the best sight fishermen I've ever seen in my life. Like, he is insane.
Real quick, did you see him fall on his ass?
Yeah, no, I actually, I called him and I were talking on the phone, I think yesterday when I was idling around scanning ledges. And I was like, bro, work on your footwork. And he just laughed. He was like, bro, the TikTok video has like 40K views. I don't care. But no, dude, like he is so good at sight fishing. Like, so good. He's the only guy I've ever met who can be idling with a flogger at 5 miles an hour and put it in the water and not break their nose. Like,
what
is so good at just going around and like largemouth, smallmouth, doesn't matter, catching them, anything. He's so good. Like, dude, I was telling like Canterbury, Airy, Scott, Hank, like all the guys I was filming with, and they were like, oh, it's going to be a bad event. I was like, well, watch out for Felix. And they're all like, oh, you never seen a Southern guy bed fish, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I haven't, but like, that guy's good. Like, he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he proved it down there of like, I can catch them anywhere. And with the re-catching them every day, there's a series in Minnesota called the Champions Tour. And Felix has, I'm not going to say how many because it's kind of bad in terms of their rules. But Felix has caught like certain bedfish a certain amount of times that would make your mind blown in the amount of a day. And you're like, how many times you get that thing to bite? And yeah, it's like, dude, he's so good. So when he's like, yeah, I'm going to go catch the same ones. It's like, yeah, like whatever. It's no big deal to him. He'll go do it.
Good gosh. That's insane. Well, boys, I think we should transition here after that and talk about Neely Henry. Do we have anybody that wants to take a stab going first here? Any predictions on how it's going to be won? Or
well, here's the thing. What's going to happen? Does anyone know anything about Neely Henry?
Besides that, it's a
water
grinder?
willow. And
yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a grind, is it? It's a Coosa River lake.
That's what I've been hearing.
I think the time of the year is a lot better. I mean, I'm looking at results right now, actually, of a BFL the same week as this is going to be in last year, and it took 18-14. I mean, it's a one-day tournament, right? But it took 19 pounds, and the second was 18, and then 17-8. Like, they caught them pretty good.
So I talked to my buddy Chris, who lives very close to there, and he basically said 14.5 a day this time of year wins it.
Not according to these BFL results.
Those are
Oh,
also
a day.
1-day tournaments.
It's a 4-day tournament. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
He said the
Yeah,
first
but
2
they're
days will
also
be a
not as
shootout,
good
and
as
whoever
Elite
survives
Series
day 3 and
anglers.
4, junk fishing will win.
Gotcha. I like that.
So guys that are scrappy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I might be screwed in my picks, but I'll go with it.
Yeah.
Sure.
You want to lead us off?
I got a good cushion, so I'm fine.
Here it comes. Any other predictions on how we think this thing's either going to be won or just kind of general takes?
From what I see in Alabama right now, I think you're going to see a hell of a shad spawn.
It's like a buzzbait, spook, popper,
big time shad spawn.
I think it's going to be a frog.
I think a shad spawn. Someone who's on a shad spawn every day is going to win the event. Maybe catch 1 or 2 throughout the day, but that's what I think. Maybe I don't know. Like, I know nothing about shad spawns, so it might be on a frog or anything with, but like that's happening right now down here, like big time.
Okay, that's good to know. Andy, any other takeaways?
No, I think the first 2 days of live, you're going to see a lot of swim jigging up shallow.
Mm-hmm.
And then day 3 and 4, you're going to see like buzz baits, frogs, maybe even just a standard jig on docks. And that's what's going to transition into day 3 and 4. And if somebody can catch 17 pounds 2 of the 4 days, they probably win.
Yeah.
Good point.
So is this kind of setting up to be kind of essentially, I know it's not very much like it, but essentially kind of like a Sabine River, just with bigger fish?
I don't know.
And more fish, a lot more fish.
They're going to catch a lot
bass.
of fish. There'd be a lot of calling.
Okay.
It's just catching those 3-pound class fish is a lot harder to come by.
Right.
I feel like that's the Coosa River Lake in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like that.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, does anybody want to lead us off with our Group A picks? You don't want to volunteer's tribute?
All right, I'll go. I took Patrick Walters. He's for the group. I feel like at 7% ownership, it's not a lot. Well, he's up to 7.9 at this point. I feel like that's not a lot. Where Fighter was at 22%. So I was like at 8%. I figured that was a pretty good gamble to go with, and he's one of the hottest anglers in the world at the moment. So
will he be sniping down on Neely Henry?
No,
he's definitely gonna try and practice. I can guarantee that.
Oh, absolutely, but no. I think you might see the emergence of a spinnerbait come back out this week, and a spinnerbait's going to play big time. It always does on Coosa River fish.
Will Rick Clunn be back up in the top 10?
No.
Rick Clunn weighed in the last 3 weeks.
No, I think Rick Clunn, unfortunately, is coming to the end of his career. So,
dude, I don't know about that. I've heard him talk about how he's never going to stop fishing until he literally can't.
And then he goes and pops one, man. That's how he is.
Yeah, I know.
What I mean?
It's just the craziest.
Yeah, dude, he's just going to show up to the ramp. He's going to show up to the launch, and he's just going to have, usher some kid over and be like, carry these bags up for me. And it's 35 pounds. And he's like, caught on a spinnerbait. And he's just going to he's going to be at the point where they need to wheelchair him up the stage, but he's still going to go out and go fishing. That's just Rick Clunn, man. He's a monster.
Still a spinnerbait or a big square ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a worm, just a standard little worm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll go next here, and for Group A, it's funny we were talking offline here, Deakin, because you had mentioned it, but I'm going with Josh Strassner. He's got 2% ownership. He's an Alabama dude. He's a rookie. I've seen the dude go out and grind. Like when I went pre-practice trip with Destin, I saw Strassner out on Fork getting after it, and I don't know. I think the hometown kind of deal with Strassner, I think, is going to come into play. So I'm going to go with the Alabama dude and the rookie, Josh Strassner. Deakin?
Yeah, I had a hard time choosing between two guys that are really good in the post spawn, and they're just both phenomenal anglers overall. But my decision was between Jason Christie and Brandon Polinick. And I went with Paul and Nick kind of because he had a little bit lower ownership. And I feel like he's got a little more versatility of maybe having some brush pile he's going to go throw a drop shot in too. But man, he just catches them in those like weird post spawn situations when there's a shad spawn, he can go and throw a spook up front. Like it makes me literally think of, and I know it's a completely different lake, but really what made me think about those two guys was Rayburn a couple of years ago. When they both did really well, they both top 10. Jason Chris was throwing a frog the entire time and a little bit of a swim jig. And Paul and Nick would like go shallow and then go deep and then go shallow, then go deep and then go shad spawn. And I'm like, he was just everywhere. And I feel like that's what it takes in that post spawn, like to just have that versatility and confidence to catch him anywhere. And he's really good when it gets tough. So
I believe Christy was top 5 in the Open that was on Neely as well.
Yeah, he finished. So Paul and Nick finished 12th and Christy finished, 7th.
Oh, he was down there. He struggled, I think, day 2.
Well, Bart, what's your pick for Group A?
It kills me because I'm going with the guy who's bringing up the back in the league. But I'm taking Strackner. What is it? Josh Strackner.
Strackner. Yeah.
I believe it's pronounced Strassner. Thank you.
Yeah. No, dude, he's good. Guy catches them. And very local, good. Like, it's Neely. Not a lot of people know it. And that's just kind of what it comes down to. Like, when guys have a little bit of knowledge, helps a lot. Yeah, it's a Coosa River lake, but from knowing guys down here and talking to them, all those Coosa River lakes fish a little different. And if ever anyone knows the little intricacies of it, like, that's big. And I just think that's going to be really helpful. Like, all you guys, I think, made really good picks, and they're going to be really hard to beat. But I just really like him here. I think it's a rookie. It's a chance for a rookie to win. I really think it is.
Right. All right.
Sure. I like it.
So Group B. Andy?
I wonder how many of us have the same pick. I went Justin Hamner because he lives just over an hour down the road, just outside Talladega.
Another Alabama rookie.
Yeah, another Alabama rookie. I think he's
ownership.
He's 2.7% owned, and I'm sure he has tons of history there because he literally lives just over an hour away. So why wouldn't you go fish Neely Henry if you're that close?
Because Logan Martin is right there.
That's fair. I feel like he did really well right there as well. So there's a lot of good lakes in Alabama. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So I went in a different direction. In the spirit of staying with my picks, keeping under the 3% ownership, and a guy that I'm kind of surprised he's not even at 1%. But Andrew, you talked about seeing a spinnerbait come into play this week, or not this week, but obviously next week for Neely Henry. Somebody that's kind of scrappy, and I think that could adjust well. I went with Mark Menendez.
That's a good pick.
That's a good pick. I almost went with Mark.
Yeah.
Low ownership too, not even a percent.
0.9%, not even at 1. Obviously, there's the monsters in the room. Swindle just getting a limit. Steve Kennedy, you guys mentioned about the swim jig becoming a player. Yes, Steve Kennedy's at 27%. Let's see what else we got. Wes Logan at 8%, another Alabama dude. Brandon Cobb's at almost 10%. Does Brandon Cobb have a history there, or is it just because he's a shallow water guy is why he's almost at 10?
Shallow water, clear water. I'd imagine they're going off of that.
Spotted bass too, man.
Yeah.
That's my pick. I guess transition to that easy. I went with Brandon Cobb. Also, like I'm kind of, it's crazy. I don't really have very many Alabama guys in this, and normally, like, I think that's a good pick. Or choosing some of those Alabama guys because Neely Henry's a local lake that gets hit by a lot of tournaments. That's where they grow up. But I went with Cobb. He's again just good shallow, man. He's good like in that post spawn and just versatile.
Right. Bart?
I went off the wall with this one. Straight gut pick. Guy who I think can grind it out and get it done. I went with Gussie.
I knew that was coming.
I like that.
He's a good spot fisherman too.
He's a really good spot fisherman. And I don't know, man. There's just these weird lakes and these weird things that are going on. And all of a sudden, Gussie catches him. And I feel like this is a Gussie event. You know, he won at Knoxville, and he's kind of had a few that haven't been great after. And I don't know. I think this is his. Like, I think he's going to do really well here. And it's the type of event that really sets up well for him. Just in terms of, like, who he is. Like, it's going to be a grind. He's a positive dude. He's going to go out and have fun. Like, I feel like this is a big mental event, and Gussie is like a warrior in terms of, like, mentally being better than a lot of people and being positive. Like, he's just a good dude. So I think he's going to do really well here.
Interesting pick. I'm kind of excited to see if that works out for you. That'd just be cool to see.
Well, and he's a good spot fisherman. He's caught a lot of good bags of spots over his years in FLW. Like,
he almost won Lanier too. Lanier.
Lanier.
Yeah.
He's good. He'll be fine. Like,
yeah, I think so. Andy, what about you? Start us off with C.
C was kind of a tough one for me. I didn't know who to choose. So I ended up going Matt Airy because I feel like he's had kind of a down year, even though he has 3 top 50s and 1 top 35. He's a low percentage pick, and I think this is something I could set up for a North Carolina guy. Kind of scrappy, grind it out, just get it done.
Can I take this next? Can I go out of order?
Yeah, by all means.
Scott Canterbury. Bro, this is literally his leg. Like, you can't, bro. Like, yeah.
45.5%.
He's had a bad year, and you know he's mad about it. And they're going to Neely, and that boy is gonna mess him up. Like, your top weight should be literally dictated on what you think Scott Canterbury is going to do. That's what I think. Because he's going to crush him. He's mad.
Are you saying Canterbury is going to win?
Yeah, Scott Canterbury is going to win this event.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to say no doubt, but no doubt. Like, he's dude.
I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it.
He lives right there.
Right.
Like, it's his place, man. He's going to do it. He loves Logan Martin. He loves Neely Henry. He loves all those lakes. He'll tell you all about it. I promise. And, this is a Scott Canterbury Derby. Especially post-spawn, dude. Swim jig, buzzbait. Like, talk about Canterbury. That's it. Done. Signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yeah. All right. Deacon?
So, yeah, I saw his big ownership, and I don't think that's – I think that's, like, obviously his big ownership. It makes a lot of sense, and I think that it's really good. I just was, like, wanting to play a lower percentage pick. Someone who's kind of under the radar. I went with Mark Fraser. In the Open there, he finished in the 30s, I think. Let's see. Not quite in the 30s, maybe. Oh, great. Oh, 25th. And I think one of the days he was doing really well. But good spotted bass fisherman, and just always seems to catch like a limit. In the Open, he was very consistent. That's why I made the Elite Series. But again, Micah Fraser's brother. So that was my my Group C pick.
I feel like no one's talking about Mark, which is weird. But I like that. So at 2.8% ownership, and somebody who I think will fit into the mold that Neely Henry is going to become, I went with Luke Palmer. Someone who can kind of be good in that scrappy, shallow water, grind it out, kind of doing everything in one event type of deal. I feel like Luke Palmer's capable of doing that. So I want Luke. I think it's for the third time.
Has Luke Palmer been picked a lot in this podcast?
I think I've picked him like 3 times, to be honest.
Okay, is that you? Okay.
It's probably
I picked him once or twice too.
No, I like honest answer. Like he's a really good fisherman. That's why I asked.
He's got 4 top 50s this year.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad pick to take him just for the percent. Like you might not
saying it is. I'm just saying I hear his name a lot. That's why.
Yeah. I think so too. Which is one of the reasons I almost didn't pick him, but I was like, it just makes sense in my head.
Yeah. Kind of like Drew Cook 2 years ago. I was like, well, he just catches them.
Right. So going to Group D, I'll kick us off here, seeing as I just wrapped up C. Kind of a guy that, sticking with the trend of post-spawn, shallow, somebody where I think could make a chatterbait play. I went with Todd Otten, who is at 1.4%. Just seeing, because I already know he's probably going to be throwing a chatterbait up shallow during that shad spawn deal. So I went with Todd Otten. Deacon, you want to go next?
Yeah, man. I went with Daryl Gleeson. He isn't having all that great of an Elite Series season. Right now he's doing well on Pickwick. I think anyway.
I saw him today.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
Life's great.
Anyways, the last time they were there, he finished 10th, and he was leading one of the days, and he had big spotted bass. And I mean, that's really all I'm going off of, in that I think he's looking to turn his season around, and he's got a little momentum from the Open, hopefully. See where he ends up actually finishing. But that's my pick. Kind of off the radar compared to a lot of the Alabama guys. I think he's at 2.5%.
Mm-hmm. Good pick.
Bart, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I literally have no reason for this pick other than I know he's had a terrible year and he's a local-ish, is Justin Atkins. Guy's just good. He really is, and he hasn't shown it yet. So I'm a little scared of this pick because it almost feels like a Steve Kennedy pick. But I'm going to go with it. Like, I think he'll catch him. He's just good. And, I don't know. He just gets him. Right. I literally have no reason for that pick other than local and good hammer.
All right. Andy?
Fair enough.
I went Jamie Hartman.
Why?
Just because he's having an off season, he's good post spawn. He always seems to be there in an event that you don't expect him to show up in. And I honestly didn't know who to choose in Group D. So I went with a post spawn guy and chose Jamie Hartman. If he finds him to eat a topwater, he'll be right there.
Yeah.
Or a little.
We're in the same position. We just pick different people.
Exactly. It's a very Steve Kennedy-esque pick.
Isn't it kind of weird? Total tangent here, but isn't it kind of weird how people have this, I guess, a prediction bias towards guys that have been having bad seasons because they're like, oh, he's just due to have a good one.
Dude, I think that's a thing.
Yeah, instead of picking someone who's hot and doing well constantly, you're like, oh, he's bound
but
to
you're
bomb.
in Group D, bro, and no one's doing well.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, sorry to the elite guys who listen to this, but that's just true.
Well, I do know Gussie listens to this, so I'm sure he'll be pleased to hear that you've chose him for.
Yeah, I got to meet up with him on Saturday. That's actually why I picked him.
So you sucking up.
No, Gussie's going to do well. I'm not worried. Last time I filmed for Gussie, he won, so you guys should be picking him.
Yeah. Sounds like Gussie needs to film for you so you can do well on Pickwick.
Yeah. Nicest text I got today was I texted Gussie and I was like, hey man, good news, I can film for you Saturday. He was like, oh, no way, bro, how'd it go today? And I was like, I got a whopping 513. And he goes, better than I did my first day on Pickwick. And that's because if you remember Gussie Blank, Dave wanted to pick what.
Oh, jeez.
So I was like, well, okay.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Blake's fishing like 10 times better right now, but okay.
All right, Bart, kick us off to wrap things up with Group E.
Bro, I literally said to you guys offline, I was scrolling through this and looking at this and being like, this is such a bad pocket for this lake. And I feel so bad. But I just went with someone who is a really good fisherman and has been having a bad time, like we talked about last bucket. So I'm going with Paul Mueller.
Ah, yeah.
I don't think anything. He's just a good fisherman. That's about it. I don't have anything to go off of.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll go next here. Basically, on the same exact reasoning that Bart had. And the dudes had a really shitty year in terms of obviously shit happening to them and in terms of breaking down and things just breaking in general. So I'm going with Chris Grow.
Oh, that was my Lake Fork pick.
Yeah.
For that same reason.
Deacon, what about you, man?
Yeah, I went with Bill.
Wild Bill.
Yeah,
Wilder.
Bill Wilder, whatever.
I actually think he lives on that lake.
He
Or
lives
very
on
close.
Hey,
yeah.
Deacon's like news to me. Now I look like a genius.
No, I really didn't know that.
He lives on Lake. He's a Coosa River guy.
Yeah. I mean, I just know he's an Alabama hammer, and like, I mean, that he's the only. There's one other guy in Bucket E that's from Alabama, I think, but
Kelly J.
Yeah, Kelly J. And Kelly J, man, seems to be really consistent to me. So I went with Bill, and yeah, that's pretty much all the reasoning there in Bucket E. I mean, he's 18%.
I'm actually very mad at my pick now because I think of the Bill Weidler post-spawn swim jig, and I've watched him fish a swim jig, and I'm like, God dang it, that's a bad pick. Like, in terms of Mueller, because like looking at Weidler, I'm like, Weidler's gonna catch him, son of a bitch. Like that's perfect recipe. That's a really good pick. Like Weidler, yeah, he should do really well there.
I don't think he did very well in the Open last year, though. Like,
did he fish it?
Yeah, he fished. I think he finished in like the 70s.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
Bill, yeah,
Wild Bill.
He'll do fine.
He needs to do fine. He's way down there. So I didn't know who to pick. I wanted to go Gary Klaus, but he's owned way too much at 13% in Group E.
Dead honest question. Why is Gary Klaus at 13%?
I don't know.
I knew when Bart has a couple beers in him, I was waiting for that question. And I was just like, here it comes.
It's got to be just because he's the only one.
It's the only name you know there.
Yeah.
He's the only one of the top 10 in Bucket E, so I'm going to assume that's why.
Okay.
That's the only reasoning I can come up with. I don't think
I'm sorry, Andy.
You guys can.
I'm not taking Gary Klaus. I'm actually going to take Destin. I'm going to swing for the fence on this one. He's due.
You're taking Destin like the last 3 events.
I did. I am because he's in Group E.
I love Destin. He's a great guy, but I'm just asking it.
He needs some help and motivation and.
All right. Well,
Andrew knows he's out of the point.
Deal. We'll all take Destin.
I'm taking Destin. So
I'm trying to see. Gary Klaus has 2 top 30s on Logan Martin, but that's a completely different lake. Isn't that history?
Similar.
They're very close, aren't they?
Logan Martin's one pool up. Yeah, that'd be up. Yep, 1 pool up.
Yeah, that would be up.
Well, yeah, dude, these Alabama freaking rivers like going like this. Like you got to think about it for a second.
Like you
they go east, south, west, and north.
Huh?
They go east, south, west, and north.
Yeah, dude. No, like we're on Pickwick, and I call my boys. I'm like, yeah, so I'm north of you, and then I'm like, wait a second. No, I'm east. I'm on the up current side. And then you got to use landmarks. So
Bart's description of the lakes and how they run, it's going to be him driving tomorrow to his first spot.
I'll send you my running spot. my lane is going to be all over the place. We had a good lane today, though. I passed 3 boats, so
there you go.
I was pretty happy about that.
Bart's trail is going to be like signature tomorrow.
Hey, I passed 3 boats, and I don't have a fast boat, so I was shocked by that. Like, how the hell am I passing these guys?
They probably had some AFTCO anglers.
And no, we hit Bear Creek, and there was like 2 or 3 footers, and I was like, this is just an average day. Let's keep going, baby.
Fair enough.
They all peeled
every day in the north
line, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yes. All right, let's get into our weights, our tiebreakers. What we think is going to go down. I went on the premise of 13 pounds a day with a 15 in there, so I went with 54-13.
Wait, we actually think it's going to be that low?
I don't.
I think it's going to be low. I think because I'm going off of.
Wait, we actually know nothing about this place, considering like the fall event and everything. Like that's why I'm like, dude, this event is jacked up if you really think about it. Compared to the Open last year to the spring, like what are we actually going to get? Like the fishery is going to be way better.
I think we're going to see big weights day 1 and 2, and then it's going to taper off.
Like I didn't pick Scott Martin, but like. I talked to Scott about this lake and everything, and he was like, it's way better than you think it is. And Canterbury said that too, which picked him, but he's like, it's a good lake, like good lake if you go there at the right time. And I think this is the right time. So that's why I'm confused. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm going on the premise of listening to an episode of Ken Duke saying that the catch rate is at like almost an all-time low for the elites. So I'm kind of going on the negative side of the weight predictions.
Yeah,
even though I was less than a pound,
okay.
On pork.
I'll give you a quote for your podcast. Ken Duke is going straight off of what has happened in the past few events, which have been literally some of the worst events and some of the worst fisheries in a row. You're talking about Knoxville, and then you're talking about Pickwick, and the water went up literally 7 feet overnight. I watched it happen.
Which, could happen here. That's the only
we're not going to get there, right?
But it's the spring still. I mean, there's just like stuff. I mean, I looked at Darnell yesterday.
Like it's not going to happen. Yeah. But then you go to Sabine, which was terrible. Like, what do you expect? Like, come on, Ken. Like,
watching Deakin try to get
I listen to his analytics and everything, and I love it. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you gotta be reasonable. Like
watching Deakin try to get a word in when you were talking.
Oh, sorry, Deakin, go ahead.
No, dude, you're good.
It was so funny watching.
I had my attention. I wanted to go.
I got nothing.
It wasn't anything you were doing, Bart. It was funny. It was good. I don't know. I'm going on the negative side. That's just kind of what I'm going to go at here.
I hope I'm wrong. Based off of your fantasy picks, you're picking 54 pounds because you said that's all your guys are going to
going right off the
Touche.
So many shots. This is
I was half a pound away from the weight prediction from Fork.
I think
you still didn't win the event.
No. That's good.
What, 1 fork again? What was the weight?
112.5.
How many were over 100, by the way?
I had 110.13.
Dude, damn it.
I said below, yeah.
I think the clouds killed it. I know I was on the optimistic side, but I think the clouds killed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think if they didn't have that cold front come through 2 days before the Derby started, it would have been incredible.
Yeah. Like that last day you saw, that's what I was thinking it was going to be on like Friday. Anyways, Neely weights.
59.4. It's almost 15 a day.
You're still a negative Nancy.
No, because I think the winner's going to have like 17 to 18 2 of the days, and then they'll have like a day that they have 12, and then the final day they'll have like 14 to 15 to cap it off, or like 13
you're
to
undervaluing Neely Henry.
I think the leader day one will have somewhere between, and then they're going to catch 15 a day, maybe. So I'm going with 63.3 is what I've got, and that's like just under 14. What's that? 14 a day, or is that? No, that's 16 a day. So just under 16.
Just over 15.
Okay, Bart.
Yeah, wow.
72 pounds.
He's going to drop
Well,
in.
I'm always a heavy shooter, so I'm going 67.6. I just think, from what I've heard, like, this fishery is a lot better than people think it is. And it's just in the fall, it is very bad. And there's a lot of 2 to 3 pound fish in there. So you get over that, you get to 17 pound mark, get up to 67, you'll be good.
All right.
That's what I think.
Cool.
I like it.
Wraps up that. We kind of got all over the spectrum there, but I think those are some good picks all around. Have you guys?
Wait, can we re-emphasize who is winning by a lot, real quick?
Hey, it's changing. What it changed to now? What's the score?
Who's the guy? What?
What's the updated golf score?
The updated golf scores are: Bart is in the lead with 7. Deakin is in second place with 11, and Andy and I are tied at 16.
So I still can't be not in the lead after this event. Great to hear.
You guys need to pull your weight, Andy.
I'm going. Hey, like I said from the start, I've been going because you guys are making great picks, but I'm going with a trend of trying to pick less than 3% just to see how I do.
Hey,
next year,
Ronnie's one of my good friends, but don't be Ronnie because Ronnie isn't that great at fantasy.
Fair enough. But I think to wrap up real quick, have you guys done that Drain the Lake game? That's been
I haven't done it yet. How is it?
It's kind of cool because you get to pick 8 guys per event. I'm curious how many. I wish Bass had like a total participants, like your rank, like what it is out of how many, because like I look good at this point right now. I'm 330th, but like who knows? It might be 330 guys playing it. Who knows?
More than likely, there's 337.
I'm curious now. I want to see.
Barton's just such a douche when he has like 12 land sharks.
Land sharks with a lime.
I'll get another. We want to keep going?
I got nothing to do here, so that is completely up to you boys. I don't know what else we have to talk about coming up.
I mean, I can tell you all about my day on Pickwick if you want to hear it.
Hey, if you want to tell it, the floor is yours.
Can I get another land shark and we'll go?
The floor is yours.
Beer gut tomorrow morning. Running down the lake.
No, I don't care. I gotta pick up
poor
Eddie.
co-angler.
Hey, actually, Eddie's meeting me here at 4. So
I want to see who's in front of Bart that we might know that can stop and wait for Bart.
It'll be Brock Mosley.
Okay, I want to see if
Brock was right behind me.
I want to have
him pass me this morning.
I want to have Brock take a video of watching you stop halfway just to yak out your boat and keep going.
Oh no, I got 40. It's gonna be glass tomorrow. We're gonna be good.
So you're gonna be yakking while you drive on the boat tomorrow? Is what you're saying?
No, I'll be fine.
So remember, the weatherman
you
is
gotta remember I'm
99%
from
of the time wrong.
Minnesota. Like,
you guys both talk at the same time.
oh, sorry, Andy, go.
Oh, I was gonna say, just remember, the weatherman is 99% of the time wrong. So even though it's supposed to be glass, he'll probably be blown like 30 upstream.
Yeah, no, Andy, like you gotta understand, man. At 9 a.m. today, I hit spot lock on a spot, and I sat there till 9:20, and my boat did a full 360. and I was in the full Pickwick current. And at that point in time, when I made the 360, I was like, we're probably not going to do well today.
No, not one bit.
All right. I got to roll here, guys, but I got one thing to say. Just I was thinking about it. I got a bunch of buddies that went and fished on Mead, that Bass Pro Shops Team Series deal.
Gosh.
Did you guys hear about
I want to
that?
hear about this. I need to hear about that. I'm getting
The
beer.
shotgun
I'm coming
start
back
with
for
250
this.
boats.
Say that again. You guys are talking over each other.
So bad. Okay. So basically, dude, like, first of all, Lake Mead can get bad. Like, and I know you guys live up north, so like, but like, when you go through the Narrows on Lake Mead, and I fished a college tournament there, like, it turns into an ocean, like, right? Like, you can't see across it. And it's like, there's been times where guys roll out of that thing and it's 8-footers. Like, there's been like 3 or 4 guys that have died crossing it. And so it can get very, very dangerous. And, like, it's a desert lake in the middle of nowhere that's big. And so they made the call, like, the first day to move it to Sunday, right? Because these are one-day tournaments. And I want to fish one of these things because you have a chance at $1 million if you make the championship deal. But so the first day they moved it then to Sunday, right? So all these guys are like, what? Like, move it to Sunday. Okay. Or I think it was maybe Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They postponed it twice now. And then they did it the last day. And first of all, like, like a shotgun launch, man. I don't know if you guys have seen that video coming out of the marina. Yeah. Dude, it reminded me of coming out of like locks. Like, I was just like, oh, like, the guys like commentating, like, oh, that guy's sunk. Like, oh, that guy's done. Like, you know, guys are like plowing waves. Like, so first that happened. Then they send everyone out, right? And it's like angry. Like, you know, like, there's some videos like Main Lake and there's like a boat that crashed, you know, all that. And but like, one of my buddies fishing it, like, they get to their starting spot, they catch a 2.5 pounder largemouth on Mead, which is like, Mead has little fish, right? Like, you're like, oh, I'm sitting pretty good with just one of these right now. Like, here we go. And he's like in the first hour. And then they tell all the anglers, conditions are too bad, we're calling it off. So they're already out there. So then all the guys run back in and they just postponed it for like in the future. Like, there's no, like, they're like, when, like, what? Like, we wasted the last week, 2 weeks here. Like, so it was just like, I don't know. I don't know if the forecast got worse. Again, I don't know anything about the officials or anything like this. It's just like,
what a debacle.
Yeah. Like, I was just like, oh gosh, I would be so upset. Like, I mean, that's just like, I don't know. I don't know anything about it again, but man, they seem like they're a little over their, I don't know. They don't have the right people in place necessarily to run a tournament series like that level.
No, dude, straight up, like, me and Panger were talking about fishing 1 or 2 of those to go do something. And yeah, like, we saw that and we were like, okay, done. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, dude, that's so, like, I don't know, rec league. Like, how are you gonna do that? Like, the shotgun start thing in the first part is like
horrible.
That's a disaster, especially if you're inviting. Like, I'm totally for inviting smaller boats, smaller people.
Yeah, trackers.
I want everyone to come fish Bass Derbies because it's so much fun. If you have a 15-horse motor with a 14-foot John boat, I want you out there because guess what? If we're on the Mississippi River and I got the 20-foot trite and you're going to beat me probably. Like, I get that. Like, I'm all for it. But, bro, you can't send people out on a shotgun start like that. You're going to kill people. Like that, you can't do that.
Well, they're lucky nobody did.
Mead, like you talked about, we all know Mead. We know what it does with waves and how bad it gets. Like,
yeah,
you can't do that. And then the other part is you can't call it off after 2 hours.
I know. Like, after you
can't do that. You send them out, you go. Like, you send a weather advisory and you say, at this point in time, this is where it is. If you choose to come in, you come in. If you don't, you don't. You can weigh your fish. We're opening the scales, whatever. But you give that option and just, yeah, man, it literally looked like a
A circus.
I don't know how delicately to say it, but it looked like a very poor run event for an event that's leading up to $1 million.
Like, that's the thing.
Like, what? Like, am I even going to get my check?
Dude, so get this too. And again, like, I mean, I'm going to try, like, I'm still like, I would like to fish one of these just for the experience to go. Like, I don't know. It'd be cool to try and fish for $1 million. But dude, so I have another buddy, my team partner here. He went and fished the one in Texas. Right. And then I have another buddy that actually qualified in that, but that deal. And they're like, the tournament director got bullied into what like everyone in the crowd was like saying was unfair at the tournament meeting, which basically they had it set up like you could drive anywhere and trailer, and then like you got to your starting spot, and then everyone started fishing at 7. So there wasn't like a launch, right? But then the trick was you had a weigh-in time slot. And I may be explaining this incorrectly, but that weigh-in time slot was between like 2:30 to 5. But not everyone was getting a full day, right? So then he's like, okay, well, I don't care. You guys just be here till at 5. So like you might have had a weigh-in time slot at 2:30, but like everyone else would keep fishing after that. It was just like a whole like thing that they basically like came down to, okay, you have this weigh-in time slot here, but you can weigh in at like later on. It was just like, wow, that's crazy. Like there's just a lot that could go wrong when I mean, first of all, each one of those are $50K. And then the big one's $1 million. Like that's a lot of money thrown around in team derby. Any derby. Yeah.
That's insane. Screw that. That's what I got.
We can go fish one together.
Let's do it.
Deal.
I did.
I caught 513 today, so you know I'm bringing a lot to the table.
Art's got the hot hand.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm all about it. I can crush them.
Exactly right.
Well, Bart, you said you had. I know Deacon. You said you got to run, so we'll let you go. Bart,
all right, boys.
See you, buddy.
Bart, catch him up tomorrow, boys. I'll see you later. And keep drinking those land sharks, man. Just wake up, you'll be all right. Go catch them.
Yeah, we'll maybe stumble into them.
That's
You'll
right, man.
stumble, all right. Who knows where you're gonna go?
That was good. That was a good way to end it. All right. See you guys.
See you, dude. All right, Bart. We're gonna experiment here with a little. Let's see.
No, we can chat. I'm just chilling for a sec.
Okay, playing around.
I gotta hang out and debrief.
Let's see if I can.
Bro,
oh, no, we're gonna put you by yourself.
No.
Story time with Bart.
It's funny that I can.
Ready? Cut.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out.
I just need some debrief time. Like you don't know how fucking mad I am from today.
Oh man. Do you want to have story time, or do you want us to wrap it up?
We're not on live anymore.
Oh, it's still going.
Oh God. We can have story time if you want.
Well, folks,
people want to hear after-hour Bart stories.
It is up to you, Bart. Do you want us to leave this thing running, or we can end the broadcast?
I mean, can I swear?
Yeah, I don't care.
All right, like.
Like, well, let's you know what, just to avoid any possible troubles here, folks,
I got very frustrated today.
Folks,
understated.
We appreciate you guys tuning in.
But I love fishing and everything's great and everything's fun and there's no bad roads to everything. No, actually, what I'll say is, if the people want to sign off message, this is what I'll say, because I was going to make an Insta post tonight and I haven't done it, so it probably won't happen. But it's this. I hate when people make the Insta post of like, oh, learning lessons, we're going to go out and get it tomorrow, whatever. Like, dead honest, shit sucks. Like, I'm fucking pissed. Like, that's dead honest. That's where it is. And that's... anyone who says anything different is just lying. Like, if you don't care about this, that's where it is. Like, I'm really mad. And that's where you need to be if you want to compete at this level, I think. So I'm going to go out tomorrow and everyone says, I'm going to ditch everything. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. No, I'm going to literally the exact same spot because I know they're there and I know there's 22 pounds there. And I'm going to go catch 22 pounds because I'm so goddamn mad at those fish that I'm going to go catch them. I'll snag them. I don't even give a shit. Like, I'm so fucking mad at those fish that I'm going to go catch them. Like, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to go. I don't care. Like, I'll throw a 1 ounce chatterbait, throw a rattle trap. I'll throw a flipping jig. I'll throw anything. I'm going to go catch those fish because guess what? Those 100 fish that are swimming right there, I have a problem with them right now. So I'm going to go catch them. And that's how I feel about it. Like, I don't know. If you're going to do it in this industry, that's how you got to feel, I think. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Yeah. People say don't get a personal vendetta or whatever. Like, bro, if you don't get mad, you don't get emotionally challenged by things, like, you're not in the right profession. Like, when I was taking off this morning, dude, like, that 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. time slot was like one of the coolest moments of my life, right? First Bassmaster Open, like launching, hanging out with Chad Smith, Connor Graham, Jake, like everything, hanging out there. It was so great, like just chilling. And then the blast off and I'm idling out with Ethan and you're like, okay, we're going to go get it. We're going to get it. And I'm blasting off with Brock Mosley and you're just running down river. Full pin, full tilt, just go. And like, bro, you're going 70 miles an hour, just sitting there, you know, driving, and like it hits you and you're just like, this is it. Like, this is the moment I do it for. Like, I want this. And I hooked that 3.5 and I'm like, yeah, here we are. Like, that's what I want. And I didn't get more of that today. So like tomorrow, I want all of that. So I'm going to go get all of that. Like, I just, there's no other option. You know what I mean? Yeah, I might weigh 0 tomorrow. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go weigh 22. I don't give a shit. Like, we're going to go do it. So,
it'll be like day 3 with Bart.
Yeah. You know, we'll have a show tomorrow and I'll be like, I made a bad call.
It's gonna be 9 p.m.
10 land sharks.
Yeah.
Day 1 after the derb.
It's gonna be 9 p.m.
You know what I'm saying, right? You guys get it. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
It's that feeling. Like, that's why you chase it. Like, it's so different. And I don't know, it's hard to express. Like, if you don't know it, it's unique. And I hope everyone who listens to this podcast or does anything, like, whether it's fishing or not, go find that feeling because it makes your life so much better. Just chase it always.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, I'm going to hold you to that. You said you don't give a shit. You're coming in with 22 pounds. So if it's by the time you're supposed to come in, you don't have 22, you're not allowed to come in. You and your co-angler have to stick it out until you have 22.
Bro, I think my co might be like 60. I feel so bad for him. I was sitting there with Ethan today, and I was like, bro, I'm going to feel so bad for my co tomorrow because I'm coming right back here.
Well, watch it be lights out, and he'll thank you, and you'll get a hefty tip.
So, yeah, no, we're going to crush him.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, buddy, we're going to let you go. Because you got to get up in literally, it's what? So almost 10 year time. You're getting up in 5 hours.
We're fine.
He's like, I got another 6er in the fridge.
Yeah, I'm good.
Sleep like a rock.
Well, buddy, I'm going to sign off here because I do have to get to bed. I got to work in the morning. But, dude, it's been fun as always. And we appreciate the folks for obviously tuning in to another preview. Hopefully our picks help you somewhat. Hopefully Bart's picks have helped you somewhat, and Deakin's. Andrew and I is probably not so
mine at all. Don't follow my picks.
But as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you guys on Monday Night Live, where we're going to have Mr. Keith Carson and Landon Tucker coming on Monday Night Live to talk about their NPFL performances and kind of being as travel partners. So see you guys on Monday Night Live.